This is Hanging Heavy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of fucking Hanging Heavy. As always, I'm your boy Desecrator, and today, coming back off of injured reserve, we had to put out some milk cartons with his pictures on them, but we found him. I'm talking about that Lost Boy garbage fire.
Yo, what's up?
And the anchor to my poop deck. I'm talking about that sexy butt pirate.
Ooh.
Puppy Ray.
Complete with fish sounds.
Yeah, that was a flopping fish. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get this quick tradition out the way. We take a shot. So if you want to join us, go ahead and grab whatever the fuck is near and fucking throat that bitch. You guys ready?
Do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. So, right before we started recording,
My God, man.
Garbage was asking us about Rammstein. So, what got your interest in Rammstein?
And just TikTok, man.
Of course.
What did TikTok do to Rammstein?
No, nothing. That's the thing. It's like you see a bunch. The algorithm in it every once in a while plays like a bunch of metal stuff for me. So like I follow like a few people that will do like covers of metal and whatnot, and one of them was just a guy vibing to Rammstein. And I mean the few songs that I've listened to because of movies or because every hardcore drunk metal dude thinks he can sing, do Haas at every karaoke night. It's not a song that ever is missing on rock karaoke night. But Firefighter, man, is one of my favorite songs. And the only reason I remember that song is because of what was it, Triple X?
Vin Diesel, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, Firefly's fucking. That's even if it wasn't Rammstein, that's a fucking track, dude.
Yeah, when I bought that album, like this, I could listen to the album from track 1 to track 15.
The whole album, yeah.
The whole album from beginning to start.
Without skipping or pausing it, yeah.
Yeah. And even the slow one, that's a sonnet or sonnet or whatever.
Sonnet, yeah. Sonnet.
I could hear that. Yeah. That one, me and Mutter, because Mutter.
That's on that album? No shit.
Yeah, it's that's the name of the album, Mutter.
Mutter, yeah. No fucking way. I didn't know it was on that one. I think I have that album.
Yeah, the one with the baby face on it, I think, or some.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't have this one. Fuck.
I have that one. That's why when I first got that one, I was like, "Fuck, yeah, this album kicks ass."
Yeah,
I'm gonna need to listen to it beginning to end.
Yeah, well, we were saying fucking Rammstein's one of those bands that like gets overlooked. Like they're big, they're famous, but like they should be bigger and more famous, you know?
Yeah.
I think everyone has heard Rammstein.
Yeah.
At one point.
But the thing is they're big, but I hated that they just go Do Haas or Firefly.
Yeah.
They're like, no, man,
they have a lot of fucking good albums.
A lot of great songs and albums.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Pantera. Like everybody like loves Pantera, but they only play that one.
They only listen to Walk or Cowboys from Hell.
Yeah, or Sublime. I'm not a big fan of Sublime, but I only play those 2 songs.
Dude, fucking Hollow, eh?
Yeah.
Hollow's a shit.
Yeah,
No,
fucking Pantera. Yeah, you're right. Like Pantera's big, right? They're famous, but they deserve to be bigger, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I mean, did they get cut off, from their rise?
Oh yeah, but still, it's like one of those albums. Their albums are not like stuck in time or anything. It's just great songs that you could
yeah,
relate to.
that's what I'm noticing lately. Like before I lost my record collection, I was listening to Far Beyond Driven, fucking Cowboys from Hell, Reinventing the Steel. Great fucking album. I mean, my favorite is Vulgar Display of Power, right? But that's just because it came out when I was like becoming of age, you know?
Well, I mean, it's not just more than that, dude. Like every song in that album is just a fucking banger, dude. Like one of the songs that I think doesn't get listened to enough. Either A New Level, which I fucking love that song.
Fuck yes, dude.
Yeah,
Great
dude.
song.
Obviously, Hollow is just how they always say, right? You always have to have that ballad in that metal album. There's usually one. Hollow is just fucking amazing. Mouth for War. So like that song is just like one banger into another, and then you also have like This Love as well in that
Yeah.
album. It's like
Yeah, This Love is a great fucking song.
fuck yeah, dude. Like that's. I mean, I fucking love Pantera, man. I'm not gonna be able to tell you much on them, other than I know like their fucking music is amazing. And I mean, yes, you have Cowboys from Hell being badass, but for me, I just think the same thing, man. Display of Power is just
Vulgar, yeah.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, you have where you go back to Cowboys from Hell. Domination's fucking amazing. Obviously,
Fuck yes.
yeah. So like when it comes to,
Dude,
I think Heresy is another good song. I think that
Oh
gets
yeah,
forgotten.
no shit, no shit. Yeah, dude, Pantera. I don't think they've ever made a bad song.
So yeah, like it's
I think I can comfortably say it. I don't think there's such a thing as a bad Pantera song.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's when you think about it like that. Yeah, you're right.
Well, look, I'm gonna read the track listing for fucking Vulgar Display. Vulgar Display of Power came out in 1990. This was their major label debut, right? Right after Cowboys from Hell. And first track, Mouth for War.
Mhm.
Number 2, A New Level.
yeah.
Number 3, Walk. Number 4, and this is probably my favorite fucking Pantera song, just because it's brutal as fuck. It's fucking Hostile.
Mhm.
And then This Love, Rise, No Good, Attack the Radical, Live in a Hole, Regular People, By Demons Be Driven. That's a fucking song that super heavy. No one ever remembers that one. And then they close it out with fucking Hollow.
Damn.
Dude, that's a fucking. If they were to just do one album live, they could just do the whole Vulgar Display and it would be a fucking crazy show.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and you have those bands, man, that I just think don't have enough credit. And I guess Walk is probably one of their best songs. Unique, hard to replicate kind of sound.
yeah.
Same thing with Rammstein. They have a bunch of music that I mean, for me, Firefried is better than Du Hast out of the favorite ones. Even though I know you're saying that it's one of those go-to songs. The fact that you told me that one of them came out in the Mortal Kombat soundtrack, I had no idea that was even a thing.
Dude, even Links, man. Links. That one's pretty
Oh,
good.
links, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, dude. Fucking Rammstein, dude. Dude, this is the shit that I grew up listening to. So, like, I know I sound like a boomer saying, like, oh, music's not as good as when it was when I was growing up. But I kind of have fucking. I mean, I grew up Pantera. I mean, Rammstein. Yeah, it was the lame part of Metallica's career when they cut their hair and shit.
I still like those
But
albums. I don't know why people hate on them.
for me, I was really into extreme metal, like death metal, black metal, fucking grindcore, shit like that, right? And the '90s was like prime time for every genre in the extreme metal category. So I'm like, for me as a metalhead, primarily thinking, the '90s were like the golden era for heavy metal. You can't prove me. You can't fucking like tell me I'm wrong.
Talking about the 80s was metal, man. Hair bands.
I think you're. I mean, yeah, you're right, man. It goes back to a lot of the stuff that. But then again, what have we had since then, dude? It's not like you have some of the bigger bands keep on taking albums.
Exactly. That's my thing, right? Like there hasn't been like, who are the new big four? You know, in metal.
MGK and
Dude, what the fuck?
or MJK, whatever.
Machine Gun Kelly, MGK. Yeah, you had it right. You had it right.
But
Whatever.
doesn't it go back to like, I know I sent you guys a video a while back about the whole rock's not fun. Like it's too serious nowadays. It's too like depressing. Like
It's always been that though. That's my main thing with that video that you sent us. I was like, that was my main argument. Like rock was never fun. Rock
You
has
think
always
so?
been on the fringe.
Well, except the 80s hair metal bands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the only time. But I mean, they tried to kill that as quick as they could with fucking sludge and grunge. Yeah.
But that's the thing about it, right? Even up until, so I think he made some valid points, like which for those of you guys listening, he said that it wasn't fun after that. The lyrics started going down. Like there wasn't just any more bangers anymore, or the bangers were a little bit softer, and to some extent, I think he made sense. Like it's not like you go to like or at least even when I was still in high school, you wouldn't go to parties and listen to.
Yeah.
To metal, you would listen to rock because there
mean,
wasn't really that many.
You were going to the wrong parties, buddy.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
No, I mean I still was like most of the people, like they would jam some. They would still jam some stuff, but then eventually you would end up in hip hop or some rap.
Quick. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the thing is, and if you think about it, like a lot of the shit was like goddamn, like cortate las venas, right? Like cut your veins and shit like that.
Cut my
excited,
life
right?
into pieces.
And I think that was one of the sides that was mentioned in that video article that we saw. It's like a lot of the stuff started getting a little bit more serious, a little darker tones, which is nothing wrong, right? But it doesn't mean that you still have to.
Yeah, like even make fun of Papa Roach, but that song, as serious it was, it moved you. Like it,
Make
you know,
fun
you
of
didn't-
make fun of what?
yeah. Oh, Papa Roach, like
Oh yeah.
Like- yeah, that song, like it's depressing, whatever he was going through, shit, but it still gets you moving.
Yeah, and I like that he brought that one up. But then, how many of those songs were?
I feel so alive for the very first time. I can't deny you.
So like there was still some good stuff out there, but I think after that, like in the last, and like you said it right, like in the last 10 years.
Yeah, there hasn't been like.
Maybe because the way the state of society is now.
Yeah.
Because all this shit we've been going through, man. Like maybe before pandemic and all that, it's like the second depression within these past 20 years already now.
Yeah.
Like I think that's why we haven't had so many, I guess, fun rock songs. Like we have, but
Well,
not
I mean,
as-
what
not
is
as
that?
many.
Steel Panther or what the fuck are they called?
Steel Panther.
Is that what they're called? I think that's what they're called. The 80s band? That's not an 80s band? They're in like an 80s band now?
Shit, I don't know.
I think they're called Steel Panther. Fuck them.
What the fuck? No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You see, and that's the thing, right? Like the fact that we cannot even name something like that just means
Yeah,
how
Steel
much.
Panther. Steel
Yeah,
Panther.
I see it. Holy shit, I see it.
Yeah, they're
all
like an 80s band in the 2000s.
The fuck?
But are they young or they're old?
Yeah, they're old. They're young dudes. I mean, not young, right? But I mean, they're not from
Yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not from the 80s.
Maybe they were born in like 87, 86, you know? Technically, right? But,
So they're in their 30s
yeah.
and they're an 80s band.
Yeah, but at least they're not 60.
Yeah, they're not fucking
Oh yeah.
Mick Mars that has some degenerative disease that he's gotta sit down on like a wooden box to perform and shit. That is a thing. By the way.
Motley Crue guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you see, even like Motley Crue's a perfect example, right? Like the music was, they were bangers, man. Obviously, like one of the well, for me, one of the songs that I really like is obviously Live Wire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a banger. That's something you can play, and people are gonna get pumped. Short enough where you don't get bored of it. You don't see stuff like that. Not that I'm saying that long songs are bad. Like obviously, I do listen to some of the stuff that you guys recommend to me, and they're long music, but that's shit that you sit down and you listen
Yeah,
to. It's not
that's
something
like
that-
when you take the time to unpack everything, you know?
Yeah, like you're having your own fucking trip. You're tripping out as you're listening to a song, right? You're having a beer, whiskey, or whatever your choice of recreational activity is, and and you fucking enjoy the music. Those are shit like like masterpieces, right? That you enjoy. But when you're in a party, you don't want to fucking enjoy a masterpiece. Imagine.
Yeah. Well, that too, like the thing, like with party, like you gotta feel the room too, right?
Mhm.
So like you're not gonna just put in a fucking super depressing song when everyone's like all fucking bumping and dirty dancing on each other and shit. You're not gonna slow it down and put like the room in the elephant. Like you're not gonna fuck it up. Put some folk music or whatever the fuck.
Or the sound.
of silence. Yeah, exactly. You would never want to play that at a party.
That's what you want to play to clear out the room.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
everybody
what you
go home.
They should put that in like every department
At the
store
bar?
and every
At the bar?
that's called they should play that at a fucking like when they're closing stores and shit, every retail store. They should just play the sound of silence. That way everyone's like, "Oh, let's go." I don't want to
You don't
listen to
want
this
the- you-
shit.
You don't want them to drive off a cliff either on their way home.
Oh,
dude,
dude,
so
once
relax.
they're out of my doors, I don't give a fuck what they do. They're not my problem anymore. But yeah, fucking yeah, fuck that. Going back to the very beginning of this conversation.
What the fuck? Wait, hold up. Steel Panther have a song called Poo Tang Boomerang.
Yeah. They're like super. They're super 80s. But now and like, I hate 80s music. Like, almost everything about the 80s is really fucking lame.
What are you talking about?
What
Like,
the fuck?
I don't like much hair band metal. Like, there's
Yeah,
some
for sure,
songs that-
hair band. But
I
they're-
like the 80s, dude. I like Billy Idol. You can't fuck with Billy Idol. No,
Nah.
you don't like Billy Idol.
Nah.
Okay,
Nah.
dude, so,
I mean,
Really?
he's
Let me-
like a fucking meme, right? To me.
So,
dude, okay, look, I'm looking at the 80s classified by Spotify right here, right? 80s
sweet.
rock anthem.
you don't like the
So-
Misfits?
The Misfits.
You don't like ACDC?
Nah, fuck AC/DC, dude.
Okay, Metallica?
Yeah.
Motorhead?
I mean,
Judas
Motorhead
Priest?
started in the 70s, but
They became big in the 80s.
whatever, Papi. I mean,
Come on.
Okay.
Ah,
Motley Crue?
I like some Motley Crue. I don't like all Motley Crue.
Guns N'
Ozzy?
Roses?
Guns N' Roses, I do like.
Ozzy?
Yeah, or his early
Okay.
stuff. His early stuff is
Okay,
good.
well, yeah, well, I'm talking about 80s, dude. Let me see who, I don't know some of these. Jane's Addiction? Who the fuck is this?
I don't like.
You
Jane's
don't
Addiction.
know who Jane's Addiction is?
You don't know
I
who they
mean-
are though. Oh,
Let me listen to one of the songs.
what's his
Listen
name?
to-
Fucking Perry or Steve Perry?
Perry.
Or what's his name? Not
Steve-
Perry.
no, that's Steve
That's
Perry.
Aerosmith. But what
Yeah,
it's Perry something.
Fuck, I know his name. He's the one who started Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Mountain Song?
Yeah, Mountain Song's fucking awesome.
That's their
Yeah,
biggest
that's-
hit, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Or
Uh,
what-
Skid Row, Iron Maiden.
Skid Row
Scorpions.
is one of those hair bands that they get a bad rap, dude. Skid Row was heavy as fuck for a hair band. Skid Row was fucking awesome. Listen to the song "Slave to the Grind," and you'll have your mind changed. Well, cause what is that? Fuck, what is the name of that song?
Hey, wasn't he like 18 years old when he started?
18 years and young, or whatever the fuck that song is.
18 and Life.
Yeah, there it goes. 18 in life we get. That's
Okay.
what opened the door. But listen to "Slave to the Grind." And
Okay, I just added it to the queue. But
The-
okay, so
Megadeth?
Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden.
Oh, Iron Maiden.
yeah,
That's true.
Iron Maiden though.
Okay, Scorpions.
Oof.
Okay, yeah. So you guys mentioned Billy Idol, Rush,
I
and Van
I
Halen.
respect Rush, but I don't like
Like
fuck with her music. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Van Halen.
Tampoco.
Nirvana. Talk shit. Come on.
I can't.
Because they were like 80, 89 now when they came out.
when they were like punk back in the 80s.
Quiet
Right.
Riot.
Quiet Riot slaps. Not even gonna lie.
Okay, so half of the shit you like. What the fuck do you mean you don't
You
like?
got Slayer, Anthrax,
Well, I mean the big four, puppy. You're getting into like heavy metal though. That's different.
Well,
Diamond,
okay.
I'm talking
King
about like synth wave. I'm talking about like fucking just
I like-
electro pop.
Yeah,
A
even
lot
the
of it
fucking-
is fucking bitch made, dude.
But even the pop songs are like you're like not bad. Fucking 80s, man. You're like just fucking 80s. Shit.
Dude, okay, Beastie Boys.
Yeah. I fuck with
Alice
these
Cooper.
Alice Cooper started in the 60s. Come on, get the fuck out of here with that.
It's still part of the. It's coming out on this
Nah,
list.
that doesn't count as 80s. Get the fuck. Just because the song was recorded in the 80s. That shit
Poison
ain't-
was recorded in the 80s.
That shit, no, that doesn't
they,
count.
They
Then.
became famous in the 80s.
Okay,
Nah, he became famous in the 70s.
Sure, because of his all theatrical concerts.
All that and he would tour with like Elvis and shit. Imagine, dude, going to see Elvis and then this fucking skinny, fucking heroin-looking junkie motherfucker comes out on stage with a top hat and leather pants with his face painted and shit, like letting a snake slither around his fucking butthole.
Okay, this one I can give you. Bon Jovi. Let's see.
Nah, fuck Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I know you don't fucking like him. I like him, but
Michael Jackson.
oh, yeah, that's true.
Let's not go there.
God damn it.
Cindy Lauper.
Nah, fuck Cyndi Lauper.
Rick
Leppard?
James.
Hey, dude, I wish I had cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Let's see. Some of the other stuff here. Kiss.
No, Eddie Murphy, baby.
Party all the time.
My
Party.
girl wants to party all the time, party.
You see, they can't fuck with the 80s, man. Yeah, dude. It's just crazy shit.
I'm
dude.
talking about like, well, again, the synth wave shit, the electro pop. I hated it, dude. It sucks.
But you
I
just
hate it.
because part of the 80s like I mean the
But
80s.
that's the popular 80s. That's the 80s
But
that
even-
everyone
but-
likes.
But even
Dude,
the popular 80s.
everything that I'm playing for you is the top charts or the rock 80 considered anthems here, dude. So like half of the shit you
but
like.
what is
Phil
the other
Collins,
stuff that
Phil-
you're reading?
fucking
Nah, I
Phil-
don't listen to Phil Collins
You
or
can't.
the Police.
Any of the police?
Nah, I don't care about either one of those artists.
Okay, let me start going down the like some of the lower end shit. Okay, you
Stop
have
trying
like
to read the metal and the hard rock stuff. Stop
I'm just
throwing
trying to-
softballs up.
Every popular song in my head.
everything here's rock. Everything comes out on the rock anthems.
Rock anthems.
Yeah, that's what it does. That's what I'm really reading for you. Like I'm just going down the list of artists. I'm going the Cult, Def Leppard, Dire Straits, Loverboy, Pixies, A Flock of Seagulls, The Smiths, Duran Duran.
Okay, so I like the
Flock of
Pixies.
Seagulls.
Wait.
The Pixies are awesome.
Yeah, fuck Duran Duran.
White
Fuck-
Snake, Journey.
Nah. Journey, a
George-
couple songs.
George Boy.
The fuck else is in here? Queen.
Nah, fuck Queen.
What?
Yeah, fuck Queen. Overrated.
This is
Overrated.
being a hater.
Nah, overrated in my mind.
The Cure.
Fuck The Cure. Fuck Robert Smith. Make me bad.
Prince comes out here, dude.
Ah, Prince, dude. You can't hate on Prince, dude.
Yeah, I was about to like,
Dude,
yeah,
a
man.
motherfucker was just sexy, dude. Motherfucker was different. He had star power. You can't deny
Okay,
that.
So that's the 80s.
Even if it's not my jams, fucking respects to Prince.
He became a symbol.
Yeah,
still.
yeah. The only artist to change his name 100 times to the point to where a symbol wasn't even enough.
Okay, so let me see this. Okay, that's the 80s, right? So let's see how you compare to the 90s.
That's baller.
So, Nirvana, obviously, you know the Cranberries,
I like the Cranberries. Yeah,
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I like the Peppers. Yeah.
Okay. Rage Against, obviously you do.
Of course, yeah.
Oasis.
Nah, fuck those
Oasis.
British bastards.
Wonder
We have The Verve. Okay, this I don't know.
They do Bittersweet Symphony.
Yeah. We have Soundgarden.
I don't like Soundgarden, but whatever. They have a couple
Blur?
good songs.
Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
Chris...
Stone Temple Pilots.
Again, I don't fuck with them,
I
but
never liked them.
yeah,
Smashing Pumpkins.
I
like them.
Okay. Blink 182.
I like them.
Nah.
Okay. Radiohead.
I love Radiohead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use on that one.
Nah.
Beck.
You gonna give me shit on Radiohead? Fuck you.
I said I'm not gonna give you shit on Radiohead.
No, I don't fuck with Radiohead.
No doubt.
You said Beck, dude. Beck's a sleeper artist, dude. He's a genius. I don't throw that word around musically, but he's a genius.
Okay. No doubt.
Yeah, they had some fucking good shit back in the day.
Okay. Green Day.
Heck of the-
Green Day, yeah, yeah. Fuck them now.
Okay, so The Offspring. Obviously, we know what Papi's opinion is on this.
Yeah, they come out with a new album, man.
And we know Desecrator fucking hates them right now because of
I don't
Papi.
hate them. I just I can't hear them without thinking about just overhearing them. You know.
That's. You see the impact you had, Papi?
Same thing with Tool. I used to love Tool, and just I can't anymore.
So
It was in a year they finally took an album. Okay, Desi? And that was it. Like waiting for like 10 years for an album.
That was 2
like-
albums ago. That's like 20 years. God damn it. Yeah.
okay, so we have Incubus,
I like Incubus.
Pearl Jam.
I love Pearl Jam.
This one's I'm gonna laugh. Weezer.
Nah, fuck Weezer.
Exactly. What else do we have here? Nine Inch Nails.
Too easy.
Bush.
Nah, fuck Bush.
They had good songs. They weren't that bad.
Kerosene.
Or was it Machine Head?
Foo Fighters.
Nah, I'm not a Foo Fighters guy.
I like the Foo Fighters a lot. So
I like Dave Grohl better as a drummer.
some of the other stuff I don't know. So you might know. Soul Asylum.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They have some good songs.
Everclear.
Nah, fuck them.
Cake. The fuck is
Hell
this?
yeah, dude. Got a
Cake.
short skirt and a long jacket. Hell yeah,
Cracker.
dude. Never heard of Cracker.
He got the distance.
Oh, you'll go the distance. We're going the distance. Okay, then yeah, I've heard.
So then this is what it sounds to me like right now. Oh, like I like. Do you like Garbage? Stupid Girl.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Garbage.
Stupid
Okay.
I bet it's there.
girl. Ah, I think the chick went crazy or some shit. They kicked her out of
red,
the band.
Garbage is the redhead singer, right?
Yeah.
So what it sounds to me is you like a bunch of '90s stuff. You don't like the '80s because you just say the old shit doesn't sound good.
I like more 70s music than I like 80s music.
What? Okay, so let's see what's on the '70s then.
Dude, I like 50s more than I like 80s. I
Get
love
the fuck
love
out.
doo-wop, dude.
Okay, so I'm looking at this roster, and yeah, you can I can kind of agree. So we have Black Sabbath, Rush,
You're welcome.
Ted Nugent,
You're welcome.
Kansas,
You're
Sex
welcome.
Pistols,
Damn, they were in the 70s.
CZ Top,
You're welcome.
Led Zeppelin,
You're
Leonard
welcome.
Skinner, Alice
welcome.
Cooper, Kiss,
You're welcome.
Ramones,
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Aerosmith,
You're
Deep
welcome.
Purple. Okay, fine, I'll give you this one.
Yeah, I haven't heard a bad one yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this. Pink Floyd, Aerosmith. Okay, Eric Clapton.
You
Dude,
didn't mention Jimi Hendrix.
he came out in the
I'm
60s, puppy.
I'm
It
going
was the
down the
60s?
list.
Yeah.
That sounds like early 70s. Oh, you're right. You're right.
No, I think that's when he died. Like 73 or some shit.
Eagles.
The Doors?
The Doors. That's true. The Who. The Police. We have Guess Who, Doobie Brothers,
The
Toto.
Doobie Brothers. No
Okay,
way.
yeah, I'll give you the 70s, dude, because I can't find a single bad band here.
You're welcome.
Um,
You're welcome. You guys just confirmed your boy Desi's right.
Okay, so we're going into the '60s. Jimi Hendrix, Rolling Stones.
No, you can't fuck with the 60s.
Nah,
Yeah,
the
I'm
60s.
not going to do it.
Even the
Nah,
bad
fuck
bands
this.
were good bands. Goddamn.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not gonna continue. So
You proved my point.
okay.
Thank you.
So out of the '80s, you know what? Fine. The '80s have the worst bands, but they're still not bad, man.
But you know what? I give the 80s better pop music than the 90s.
That's when pop took over.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, fucking old school Whitney Houston. Hoo-wee. Debbie Gibson. Hoo-wee.
MJ.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I hate just the decade of the 80s. It's just a lot of really fucking bullshit music came out in the 80s.
I
Fuck-
think because it's the 80s. Because
yeah, that's why I'm
because-
just saying, just that decade sucks.
I think because how the 50s was this, the 60s had everybody had each identity, and the 80s were like, fuck it.
We're just gonna go
Right.
crazy. Yeah.
Yes. Let Coke hit us.
Yeah,
and-
for real. It was the decade of cocaine. That's why I wish I had the Rick James. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. I need to add that. Let me add a note.
Dip, 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 dip.
Okay, I got it. But yeah, I mean, I'm a '90s kid, so I mean, maybe I'm putting some bias on it, but judging by what you just went through, I mean, you're kind of proving.
Yeah.
My-
Okay. That I
my-
will give you this one. I have no shit to talk about on this because I'm going based off the list that we have here. I mean, we can do the 2000s, but yeah, we're not gonna.
Let's see.
Okay, Linkin Park, good.
Yeah,
Breaking Benjamin,
they're okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disturbed, with the exception of the one song. Rise Against, 30 Seconds.
I mean, what?
30.
Hey, Garbage, do you like the use?
The Used, they have a couple of good
Suck
ones.
it, Ray.
Hey, shut up.
Can you name one Rise Against song?
Who?
You can you name one?
Sa- Savior.
Oh fuck! I was hoping you wouldn't have one.
fuck, dude?
I'll just see myself out.
He be like, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
So System of a Down. Okay. We have Papa Roach. 3 Days Grace, Stone Sour, Limp Bizkit. The Offspring still comes out here.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit's more late 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah. I was gonna say they came out like in '99.
I mean, I think what wasn't their best album, Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavored Water.
No, had to be the other before that
Significant
one.
Other?
The one with the Nookie.
Yeah, significant other. I mean, $3 bills. I have it. Fuck! I used to have it. Dude. Fuck, dude. Why did we have to have this conversation?
It was going well. Like, hey, you got a win today. Now
Dude,
you take a loss as
I
well.
just took the fattest L.
Hold this L.
For real.
We have Audio Slave.
I liked Audio Slave.
Honestly, it was
Yeah.
Black that out.
Yeah, I liked Audio Slave.
I mean, I know this is not necessarily maybe our thing, Jam. Fall Out Boy.
Not me.
Nah.
Yeah, like I understand they're popular, and again, it goes back to one of those. They have like those party songs.
Yeah, that's when we became boomers.
Yeah,
One-
but they still had some music that was still being played like
How
out there.
about- yeah. What do you consider AFI?
Oh shit.
I would say
do-
like, well, they started off like punk,
In the
horror
90s.
punk.
True, yeah.
Let's
but
see if they come out here.
They kind of turned into.
I don't
I
think
guess-
they became that popular to
I
be
would
there.
guess like alternative maybe,
Hmm?
because they're rock, but I wouldn't consider them hard rock or like anywhere near metal. Maybe goth a little bit, but I mean, still I think they're alternative.
Interesting. I haven't seen any of their songs. And again, this list that we're watching, right?
Yeah.
The Muse. I mean, I like the Muse, man. I mean, Muse.
I never got
They
into
have-
them.
They have some very intricate music.
Yeah,
I liked their first 3 albums after that.
Queens of the Stone Age.
I like Queen's System.
I could pass.
Yeah, I like that one. MCR.
Nah, fuck them.
I mean, you might
Hey,
not like them,
you
but
forgot
you can acknowledge.
Deftones, man.
Fuck that.
Deftones.
I don't need that shit in my life.
Yeah,
Thank you,
interesting, they haven't come out.
Thank you, Donnie.
So we have Blink, Nickelback.
Dude, their first album was pretty decent. I'm not even gonna be a hater.
Nickelback.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
first album was pretty good.
We have Good Charlotte, Jimmy Eat World,
Jimmy
The
Eat World is
Killers,
good.
The Killers.
I never really listened to the Killers. Good
Mm,
Charlotte has a couple good songs, but
White Stripes.
the White Stripes, fuck
White
yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this one I've probably have heard, maybe I don't know, the Raconteurs.
The Recontinue, that's Jack White's other side
album.
project.
Yeah.
So,
They're okay. They're not the White
I lo-
Stripes.
A lot of stuff here. Fuck. Okay,
It's-
fine. The 80s is the worst one out of this one.
You know what? I'm kind of glad that we're doing this.
The 2000s.
Ah,
80s are better than 2000s.
there's a. I think on that one, maybe I'm gonna be biased only because there's an age difference between Papi and me.
Yeah, that was your jams, the 2000s.
Yeah, some of these were my jams. Like I did listen to MCR when I was in high school.
But I think majority, like overall, I think 80s have way better great music than 2000s.
I mean, personally, yeah. Like for me, I don't see a lot of stuff here that I can hate on. But fuck, I think I would rather listen to some of the other. It's not that they have bad music. It's just that the other decades have better shit. I think that's maybe the way it is. Like the way Desi goes about it fucking sucks. Like no, it doesn't suck. Just the other ones have better shit.
What do you mean the way I go about it? What the fuck? What does that mean?
Yeah, oh, you hurt, bitch.
I mean, that's just me, right? I mean, you don't have to listen to what the fuck I say. It's just my opinion.
It goes back to kind of like again, was it bad or there was just better shit? Like doesn't necessarily mean that what you had there was bad. Like you can translate to sports that or to anything is kind of like the whole thing with boxing right now that we were talking about earlier as well. Which is kind of like it's not that I don't like boxing. It's just that sometimes I want to sit down and enjoy a sport, and I at least want to be given an hour to 2 hours, versus something that might last 5 minutes.
That's the great thing about it. They're called combat sports, right? Like so MMA, kickboxing, boxing, whatever the fuck. I mean, fighting. It's fighting. You can't predict fighting.
But I think it's so unsatisfying because if you wasted the $60-$80 to watch it and now it's over in 3 rounds, you're like,
Okay,
Fuck
so
that.
check it out. The 90s, going back to the 90s, probably the peak of boxing, right? I mean, I'm not
Yes.
saying that there was not better boxing like in the 80s, because the 80s was really good for boxing too. But the 90s, like that's when being a knockout artist became a thing. I mean, the 90s, you had Iron Mike Tyson. Motherfucker made buying pay-per-views pointless because he would knock motherfuckers out in the first round. You would shell out $60 30 years ago. I mean, due to inflation, that's like fucking almost $100 in today's currency, right? So fucking, you pay $100 to watch him knock some dude out in 30 seconds.
yeah.
But there's a difference between saying he was the most entertaining to watch versus he was the best. It's kind of
Yeah.
like if you compare like Ali, right? Like, hey, Ali was fun to watch. You were still getting
yeah.
your time. So
But yeah, what you say, you're guaranteed this and that, and you're almost guaranteed to see Tyson knock this guy out.
Yeah,
in
he
30
was a
seconds.
guarantee that
Yeah,
some shit was going
You
down.
couldn't be not surprised. This guy fucking knocked this guy out in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I mean,
15
yeah,
seconds.
if you're paying $50, right, quotation marks, to hey, I want to pay $50 to see someone get the shit knocked out of them. Yes, that you were gonna get that. But versus like, hey, I want to enjoy a good fight. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Sure. Yeah, but
I mean, not that I'm not taking away. Like, obviously, they're great for a fucking reason. One's great for, I mean, again, comparing to Ali, right? One's great for just doing his thing. The other one is,
Well,
hey,
Ali, I mean, but that's the thing. That's the thing with boxing. Boxing is more mental. It's mental first, physical and conditioning second, right? So like the best boxers have a plan and they stick to that plan. And when you have fucking brawlers like Tyson, they're there to fuck shit up, right?
Mhm.
They're not there because they're gonna be able to go 12 rounds. They're fucking big motherfuckers, dude. Swinging, throwing punches for 10 minutes is tiring. If you don't think it's not hard to throw punches, shadow box for 15 minutes and see how long you can fucking go.
Yeah, that's why they say it's like 10, 15 pounds
Yeah,
in one fight.
Yeah, fucking, it's ridiculous. So imagine if you're fucking 250 pounds of just straight muscle. Your hands are heavier. I mean, throwing punches, you're wasting the energy of moving your entire body, especially if you know how to throw a punch. Like, it's not just an arm movement. Like, you gotta put your whole fluid motion and, like, contort your body to, like, maximize the fucking science, dude. Like, it's crazy. So, like, people are like, oh, he fucking knocked this dude out. Like, oh, I just wasted all this money. Or, like, well, I mean, there's a reason why this motherfucker's killing people. Look at him. Look at the condition he's in. Like, back in the day, Tyson was a fucking monster. Looking at him compared to the other heavyweights, they looked fat. And Mike Tyson was chiseled. He was chiseled as fuck, right? So, fucking, you're paying the fucking pay-per-view price in hopes that you see some exciting shit. And boxing now is more about technique and outboxing and strategy than it is about power. Even heavyweights are doing that now. Like Tyson Fury, he's a fucking ridiculous huge. He's a heavyweight, and he won his last fight in like a dramatic fashion. So he was big for a while, and then he either he got hurt or he failed a drug test or whatever, and he kind of like took a break from boxing, and like, he got fucking fat. He was doing a shit ton of drugs and shit, and he decided like fuck that, like I want to do something with my talent, right? So the thing about him, he's like 6 something, and he's when he was fat and not boxing, I think he was like over 300 400 pounds. Like, as a boxer, no matter what weight class you're in, that's fucking heavy. That's too heavy, right? So he had to lose like 100, almost 200 pounds just to get back into fighting weight. So, I mean, he fucking grinded his nuts off for 2 years to come back. And the first fight he comes back, he fucking destroys this dude. And, like, even heavyweights are starting to fight like lightweights and middleweights. And you didn't see that back then. Back then, I mean, any fat guy could go into the ring. And, like, fat dudes are, I mean, they have power, right? Because they have to move their fat fucking body. Like Butterbean. Butterbean wasn't a fucking specimen of a man. He was a short, fucking fat white dude, but he could knock motherfuckers out. And that's the reason why people pay to see him. And now people are like, don't like the fact that boxers are more technical than they've ever been. They're faster, they're smarter. People just want to watch knockout
It's like-
compilations.
It's like everybody wants to see the home run, but
Yeah.
no,
They don't.
no one wants to.
No one
they
wants
don't
to see
wanna
the
s-
game. They want to see the highlights.
Yeah. Yep. That's what it is now.
And yeah, that's to me. I think that's the reason why boxing is not as huge as it used to be. I like watching boxing because I understand, right? I grew up watching boxing with my dad, and it's just always interested in me, right? That's the modern day warrior. I mean, you're going in to fight an enemy, and the whole point is to defeat your enemy. I mean, how fucking badass is that? That's fucking badass. And if you've never taken a punch to the face, I don't recommend it.
I have.
But being able to take a punch to the face by another big motherfucker and keep going, I mean, that's impressive. But yeah, fucking pay-per-views have gone up in price, and people feel like they're being robbed because it's not entertaining. They're always hugging each other. They're always walking away from each other. Like, well, that's called strategy, motherfucker. You try getting punched in the face for 45 minutes straight. It ain't fun. I guarantee you would run away too. And I mean that's to me the reason why MMA has kind of taken over, because it's only 5 rounds and it's 5 minutes rounds, and they usually but fuck, even MMA is reaching the point to where like they're learning like, oh, if you grab them in a clinch, like you can gain energy back. You can use that time to strategize what your next move is. And people hate that too. They're like, oh, fucking stop hugging each other, fucking fighting.
Well, I guess you make a point, but at the same time, the people have a point too, because you paid to see a fight. You paid to see punches, not like you say hugging. Yeah.
Yeah, not running away.
Yeah, and sometimes you're right, Because who wants to get hit in the face, especially by a professional guy who's in top shape.
So check it out. Going back to Tyson, he had a saying: everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And if you think about it, yeah, you could prepare all fucking day, but as soon as you get fucking tagged, and it like you realize they have power, or like they just catch you off guard, you're like, oh fuck, this is real. Some people go into survival mode, and that's how they lose. Like they get too caught up, and they outthink or they overthink, and that's when you make mistakes. But yeah, fucking, I get it. I get why people don't like boxing now, but
Yeah. It comes down to one thing, man, is the math behind it, man. Like I think a lot of it comes down to the money, right? You pay $15 for a movie ticket, 2 hours of entertainment.
yeah,
You pay $60 for 5 minutes, dude. Like that's the. I mean, there's.
you
There's probably-
you
there's-
never watch Mike Tyson, man. You don't get it.
There's probably hookers that are cheaper than that shit, right? Like.
Oh yeah, and they'll stay the night at least.
Yeah, like. I mean, obviously, I'm using that like as a joke, but.
Are you sure though? Are you
Hey, bro,
not, are you
whoa,
not
whoa.
talking from experience?
That's why
Papi
that's how you
was
got
always-
sick.
Papi was always-
God damn it, Bobby.
But that's the thing, right? It's gonna come down to economics. It's 60 minutes for 5 minutes, or I mean, if you're paying for like the, I don't know, NFL, the Sunday ticket, right?
Okay, so check it out. There's different tiers now. So there's the standard definition pay-per-view price is like $59.99. If you want it in high def, it's like $64.99.
Oh my man.
Get the fuck out of here. Who's gonna be a retard and buy the fucking more expensive one when you can get the same thing for cheaper?
Hey, if you have a 4K TV,
It doesn't even matter.
hey man, you get to see the sweat really on that. Nah, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a fuck about that. Yeah, I want to see this motherfucker die. I want to watch him die in 4K. I can't wait till we get to the day to where we can see shit like holograms in your
But I think,
house and shit.
I think also like how how the NFL is so big, and we get our money worth of the NFL without paying much. Yes, you got the ticket, but mostly you could watch the game for free, right, on your basic cable,
Yeah.
and still get entertained.
It depends on the team, right? Because
Yeah, it depends on the region where you're at, but still, you still get the
The full
The-
experience.
the full experience when they show the game of the day, and then usually the matchup that you want to see, a good matchup.
I don't know about you, man, but after I had the NFL Sunday experience,
It's not worth it.
is not anything else is not worth it. Nah, the only reason was because I was huge on fantasy that year. Like you had
Oh,
like
yeah.
the 8 screens, right? So
You don't need the ticket, but I get it if you do. If you're like really huge
Yeah,
fan,
if
you want
you're-
to catch every other game, or maybe you're in a region where they
You're
don't
in-
show
yeah,
your favorite team.
Yeah.
Your team is not your region. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so like for example, with us watching the Patriots,
Yeah,
it was,
we're Patriots fans, me and Garbage, and that's out of region, right?
Yeah, so it was kind of hard to get them to see. So obviously, I wanted to see every game that season, and um, I mean, I didn't mind wasting what I did. I got to see them play every single season. Plus, I got to see every game. But there's sometimes when the games fucking suck, right? So sometimes, I
Yeah.
mean, if I'm gonna bitch about $60 for 5 minutes, sometimes shit, 2 hours of I don't know, the Packers just railing the Browns was just boring. So yeah, I can get that we're gonna have some boring games as well. So, but still, man, like a lot of the time, I think you do get your money's worth. That you get at least 2 hours, 2 hours and a half of some kind of
Of
game time
content, yeah.
of content versus 5 minutes, and it's like, okay, I barely lit the fire, so we're fucked.
We're gonna.
Uh,
I guess we're gonna have to talk to each other.
yeah, like,
God
like
damn it, Bobby.
who the fuck are these people in my house? You
Either
know?
that, just make out. I don't know.
Dip, 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 dip.
But I can't have you over every barbecue, puppy.
I don't care about the meat.
Oh, what?
the sausage. I'm just here for sausage.
Got him!
All right, that's enough of that. Fuck. I guess that's enough of that, right?
Sure.
I wanna, or I need to go to the restroom, so we're gonna take a quick break. But there's a new addition to the show. We finally got some sponsors. All right, so if you care about it, I'm gonna go ahead and do my sponsor read or play their ad for you guys. Hopefully you don't skip it. I'm not going to tell you how long it is, so that if you do skip it, you'll get halfway through it. Yeah, sucks to be you, idiot. Rich and Rare. When you're striving to be one of the best in the industry, you've got to take steps to ensure that you're different from the rest. With recipes passed down from generation to generation, it isn't about making a product that'll sell. No, it's more than that. It's about heritage. It's about pride. So we're introducing to you people now a recipe so strong it'll knock you dead. Reintroducing Dead Pappy's Moonshine. With the blood, sweat, and tears, determination, and integrity. For our blue-collared brethren, we bring you Dead Pappy's Moonshine. Dead Pappy's Moonshine, LLC. They're not responsible for any blindness, deafness, soreness of mouth, rashes, or any unknown side effects due to drinking Dead Pappy's Moonshine. So that was Dead Pappy's Moonshine. Shout out to them for hooking us up, and well, from that moment on, let's get into something that is recent for all of us, or I mean, not all of us. Garbage, you're excluded from this conversation.
This guy, I play the game at least.
Yeah. So after that Mortal Kombat conversation, we kind of forgot about Monster Hunter World, another video game movie that came out. We have talked about it before, but we never saw it. I don't think many people did, but me and Poppy saw it recently, and
We shared popcorn. I put a hole in our bucket.
oh, and let's just say that your boy dove in.
Ooh.
But yeah, Monster Hunter World is the film adaptation to the huge hit video game Monster Hunter. So yeah, Poppy has a little bit more experience with Monster Hunter, so I'm gonna let you go first and tell me what you liked, what you didn't like.
Well, it wasn't that bad. Not as bad as Ghostbuster. I actually didn't fall asleep.
But that's not a video game movie.
I know, but still, we all know it was gonna be a crappy movie, you know. But dude, they didn't have to Americanize this fucking movie at all. They could have just
Yeah,
let it. They could have just let us enter to the world of Monster Hunter.
yeah.
And
So hold on, for people that don't know, Monster Hunter is huge in Asia. It's barely making waves over here, but there's a few amount of people that know about it.
Yeah, if you're into the Nintendo, you're a fan of Nintendo, the DS, and all that shit, you probably know it. And there's a good amount of people, but it's not as when World came out for the PS4 and the Xbox, it became bigger. I think it was like Capcom's one of the biggest selling games of Capcom for the past year or so.
Yeah, so for me personally, I have never played a Monster Hunter game. So Monster Hunter World was my first experience with it, and it comes across super Asian, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's not. It's just really different from all the games we played.
yeah. It's not.
From the co-op and everything. Like we're not used to playing those kind of games.
Yeah, it's not dumbed down for us dumb Americans. But yeah, continue.
Well, yeah, that's what they had to. They didn't have to add this army chick to the fucking movie. They didn't have to. They could just, let us dive into the world of Monster Hunter, introduce the characters within the game, and fuck this army chick because fuck, like for like what 20 minutes they were fighting the army chick and the dude.
Yeah.
Why were they fighting if there's fucking huge ass monsters trying to kill them, and they're like in the middle of nowhere? That did not make sense at all. But the monster looked fucking badass, man. They're like look legit. Like, well, you could have gone into it and they would have focused more on all that instead of them two fighting for like 30 minutes. Like there was no point. And I know it looks cheesy with their fucking crazy swords, but it kind of worked in a way,
Yeah, I was surprised with that.
right? Like it didn't look that stupid. I was like, oh, look at that. It didn't look really out of place. It's just when, I guess, fighting it, like at their feet, it just looks fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. Because what the fuck are you really did to these monsters? But they find a way to kill it, and it made sense how to kill it.
Yeah.
But it's just the whole them trying to Americanize it, I guess.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
went,
yeah.
It went horrible, man. Like fuck that. You didn't have to do that. You just keep it to its core and let us dive into the whatever. I don't remember the fucking name of the fucking place. The land that we're in.
Enoch.
Enoch, I don't know what the fuck, but yeah, and Perlman, I don't know what the fuck Ron Perlman was. He looked like a fucking
He looked like a monkey.
dude. He looked like a Thundercat like, that failed or something.
Yeah. The mangy Thundercat. The one that was all diseased and shit.
Pretty much the one who couldn't make the cut, and they're like, I guess we'll send him to Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, so for me, like, immediately it starts off with the ship fucking going through the sand.
Yeah, like in the game.
Yeah, so, like, it started off super Monster Hunter, and then, like, the main character, which is Mila Jovovich, if you're not aware of who she is, she ruins every fucking video game adaptation of a movie ever made.
Whoa,
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 1 wasn't bad.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it wasn't a Resident Evil movie per se,
No, yeah,
but
I didn't know what the fuck was going on there.
I
But
mean,
anyways,
they made way too many, and I was like, man, fuck this bitch.
1 and 2 were good, man.
The second one is the one with Nemesis.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll second that. They were good. They weren't
They were
great.
no,
they
they
were-
weren't horrible.
Yeah,
they were,
they
they
weren't.
were entertaining.
They weren't utter disappointments, like every
Yeah.
other video game fucking movie has, or had been up until that point. I think Silent Hill, the movie series, was kind of shit. But
I don't know.
I can't say much because I never played any of the games, but
Yeah, I was about to ditto.
I can't fucking really comment. And I seen the movie. I was like, oh, okay, I guess it was alright.
Yeah,
I wouldn't watch it again.
yeah, me neither. And I played Silent Hill. Or did you say you would watch it or you wouldn't
No,
watch it?
I wouldn't watch it.
Oh,
again.
no,
It's-
fuck no.
I'm stuck on some channel and it happens to be on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fucking. So it starts off super Asian, right? And I was like, oh, okay. It's gonna be like one of those import movies, right? That they just overdub in English. That's what I expected, to be honest. Especially when I saw them doing that, you know, with like the Tinkerer chick and like all the other
handler.
all the other secondary characters.
Yeah, like they really look close to the
They
game.
yeah,
these people,
they looked like the characters.
except for Ron Perlman, but yeah.
Yeah, Ron Perlman looked like a mangy lion from The Wizard of Oz, you know? And when they first showed him, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He's an ugly motherfucker. But, like, at the same time, I still had that, like, he looks familiar there. He looks familiar, though. And, fucking, so whatever. They go in and, like, they introduce a whole squad of military people. It totally takes away from the entire plot of the movie. It's the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The whole American thing. Just wasted time.
Yeah,
on this
yeah. It was like just garbage filler, and everyone died really fast. Like, what the fuck? Like, it was a squad of like 5 or 6 people, and literally everyone dies in the first fucking 20 minutes, except for Mila Jovovich, the chosen one, you know. And then yeah, after that, like, she gets captured by the dude or whatever the fuck, and again, like, they waste another 20 minutes of my life with them battling each other. Who's the ultimate warrior? Blah, blah. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, it did make sense. Like if they would have just dive into the world, because they look like the world looks pretty cool. How
Yeah,
everything was. And I was like, man, they just let the game be.
They just
and they could have had a solid movie.
Yeah, the more they took away from the game, the more, like, I don't know.
Yeah, because when they fight the monsters, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Like,
the
holy shit.
monsters do look fucking awesome.
It's like funny. It's like if you were to play the game, it would have started you off with one of the hardest monsters, with not going to tutorial, then jump to another hard ass monster because that's what it was. And of course, it's not gonna beat it. They barely beat it by luck, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a movie, but it's just hilarious. Like holy shit, they bust up one of the hardest monsters to begin with. Like
Yeah,
fuck.
The Diablos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boris.
So yeah, like, they spend like almost a solid hour trying to defeat the first monster, and then like the even harder monster they kill in like fucking 7 minutes.
No shit.
That is another one of those things that I was like, man, fuck this movie.
Yeah, I guess when they first defeat Diablos, I was like, yeah, that's about right. It'll take an hour to
Yeah,
defeat
it took
that
him
guy.
forever, right? Like, so if you've never played Monster Hunter, like, you essentially free roam a map, and monsters spawn randomly, right? And the Diablos is one of those motherfuckers that burrows under the ground. So like he takes off, and like he'll leave to another part of the map once you fuck him up enough. And he does that a lot. So yeah, like I was like, yeah, like that's cool. I get it. That's how it is. Like you usually never kill the monster in the first meeting, you know? Like it takes a good while. Especially at the very beginning, never seeing a monster ever. And this bitch apparently fucking is a monster hunter to the bone. uh I don't know, like you say, they Americanized it in like the worst ways.
Yeah, they did, man. Like, I think it had potential to be a solid movie. They just
Yeah.
kept it. You know that Ron Perlman could come out looking like that. I'll be like, all right, weird looking guy, but yeah, fuck it.
It took me a long time to figure out that it was Ron Perlman. I think it wasn't until he started talking.
They should have just made him into Hellboy.
Yeah.
Badass crossover.
Might as well, right? So that way
But yeah.
he can save Hellboy and fucking be a badass in Monster Hunter.
And just forget about Mila. Fuck you. Go back to the Fifth Element.
And go back to the Fish Boy or whatever.
But yeah, you know what I hate at the end of the movie where they actually show the Encyclade, the weapon I use. They're like, why couldn't they put that in the movie?
The Blade Dancer.
Yeah.
Well, even the Switch Axe, dude, that shit looked fucking cool.
Yeah. And like they said, they had something there, but they just fucked it up.
They didn't have
Like
the bow
always.
gun.
No, not the one you use.
Nah, they didn't have mine. But yeah, fucking everything was cool except for the stupid shit that they did for Americans to try to get into it.
Yeah,
And
no
wh-
need.
Which ended up being the majority of the movie. Like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck this movie.
I like how they put T.I. and some other actors. Just killed them up in the first 5 minutes.
T.I.'s like the worst actor. Come on, boss, let's go. I'll follow you. Come on, boss. Like, shut up.
And like he's a sniper. He's like, I see it, boy. You're in the middle of a desert. How can you not see it?
How you-
Everybody's gonna see it. okay,
Everyone's
boy?
gonna see something coming. Yeah. There's a line that he says, like when they find the Humvee all burned down. He's like, whatever did this didn't leave any tracks. No shit.
In a fucking sand. Gee, we're getting
Yeah,
the most-
like fuck you. And I kind of like the way he carried the op, or the sniper rifle, because I mean that's kind of how people actually do carry them. Kind of just like, whatever. It's a sniper rifle.
Well, he dies horrible, dude.
Ha-
Gets eaten by little spiders or
Like a
insects,
cave
whatever they are.
spider, yeah.
Ugh.
Fuck you, Tip.
Yeah, but man, I had to see it because I played the game. Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, when they released the trailer for it, I was like, why would they do this? And I was more surprised on how much better it was than I expected. Like, I was expecting like a fucking 3 out of 10. And I'll give it maybe a 6. A 6 or 7. No, not a 7. A 6. I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I keep it 5 or 6. Like it's there. You get it, like when the fighting starts, you're like, oh shit, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to kill time, I guess.
If you want to waste 2 hours of your life.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours or a little bit less than 2 hours. And you want to see T.I. get killed by spiders.
If you want to
yeah.
see T.I. get killed like a dumbass. Just go! Just go! Get out of here, dude. I like that they made him a live host for eggs, though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you, T.I. But yeah, I guess that does it for the movies.
Oh, you know what's the other thing that kind of creeped out on it? The fucking cat. The one that makes your meal.
Oh, yeah.
I freaked out on it because I don't think the cat was supposed to be so vicious.
Well,
'Cause
in
in
the
the
game, the cat's all nice and shit.
Yeah.
And this one, like he still, or it was still nice, but at first it was like, hey, get the fuck out of my kitchen. Well, I mean, she was trying to steal the knives and shit.
True.
But yeah, because then later on it jizzes in Ron Perlman's cup and uh, it like fucking winks and gives her fucking kisses or whatever the fuck. And she's like, this isn't weird at all. Nah, get the fuck out of here.
I don't know about garbage you ever want to see that film, but yeah.
I mean, I'm waiting to watch it just to get it out of the list as another video game movie that failed.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm going in there not expecting like the best script or acting. I'm just expecting like
Oh, that's another thing.
swords and monsters hitting each other's ass. That's all I know.
Yeah, the acting was fucking atrocious.
I mean, dude, like, you go to those movies, you don't go expecting an Oscar.
Yeah.
Like, you go
No,
expecting.
but not saying an Oscar, but just just give us something,
Make it
you know.
kind of believable, you know?
Yeah, boss man or what, boss woman.
I'll follow you
whatever.
whatever, boss lady, or whatever he fucking said. That's why you died like an asshole, T.I.
They're getting chased by a fucking huge ass monster, and they couldn't turn on the fucking hammer. You're like, oh, it doesn't turn on. Like, really? It's a fucking huge ass monster coming. You're like, oh, it can't turn on. That's the best afraid acting you could give me.
I'm going. It's
Then
not.
fuck you guys and just take off.
Fuck yeah, just book it running. They're like, have you gotten the car started yet?
But the thing about all that shit is that, like, what's the standard for superhero? I mean, for video game movies?
The standard's really low.
Yeah.
At
I
this
don't know if
point.
you've ever seen fucking Super Mario.
Okay, so besides, okay, but that's the thing is like, what's the best video game movie that we've seen?
Best. I think anything.
Double
but not
Dragon.
best. It's not bad. It's 90s. It's
Yeah, well,
90s
yeah.
stupid PG fighting movie.
Let's get him!
Like, I don't know, man. Maybe because you said it. I mean, I think you said it right. Like, the best, the
Double Dragon.
The
You know what?
standards-
You know what?
the
Assassin's
standards
Creed
too slow.
was bad, but
It was fucking terrible,
just-
puppy.
it just.
No, nothing
the-
about
but-
it felt good.
But the actor wasn't bad.
I mean, the acting wasn't bad, but the script was fucking trash.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean,
They had that great actors to do it. But
yeah,
they just didn't have.
They just didn't have
Dude,
the
okay,
content.
we even though we talk shit about it, dude, Resident Evil 1 and 2 are actually the best video game movies that we have. I mean, yeah, I get
Okay,
it.
you know,
It's-
the first version was good, like halfway, and that was it.
Yeah, and then it got.
I think
kinda
when they killed
stupid.
everybody and Mila was the only one, I was like,
But again, yes, the movie was bad by your standards, but what else is there better than Resident Evil 1 and 2?
Like,
That's my point.
As
you know what?
As
Tomb
media?
Raider's not that bad.
as media?
Tomb Raider is it's horrible, but I think I think it's in the standard of Resident Evil.
well,
Okay, it's in a standard of Resident Evil, but it doesn't mean
Yes.
that it's better, right? So
I think it's equal.
is
Okay,
there
okay,
a,
so
is there
okay,
a
so
new
then
Tomb
that-
Raider?
Yeah, there
Like
is
a
one
movie?
with
I haven't seen-
2018.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, because I haven't seen that. I've seen.
And
the
you know
Angelina
what?
Jolie ones.
In a few weeks, we'll see Mortal Kombat.
Hey, even the first Mortal Kombat,
Yeah, the first Mortal Kombat was good.
it
You
was
know what? I'll
campy
take
as
more-
fuck,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I'll take Mortal Kombat over Resident Evil.
I mean,
nah, put Street Fighter.
get the fuck out. Uh,
Gomez Adams as
Okay.
Bison.
so I have. I'll take Resident. You know what? To me, they're tied. And the reason is because I still like the Resident Evil because one, it introduced a new concept, which was the whole thing with the Red Queen, and I liked it. You didn't see it anywhere else. It was unique to it. It still added its own twist, so it wasn't bad. Was it different from the games? Yes, it was, but it didn't take away from the games. You still got the zombie experience. You got the couple of other monsters. You had it wasn't bad. Um, so again, Resident Evil is a standard, right? You have to be at the Resident Evil. You have a bunch of movies that have come out. What is it? Warcraft. Sonic actually wasn't bad. Well, have you guys seen Sonic?
No.
No. They had the
What?
Hitman movies.
Yeah, I
Those
like
are not that bad.
the first Hitman with Timothy
Yeah.
Olyphant.
I wasn't.
I mean,
I wasn't a huge fan.
it wasn't the great. It's like Resident Evil standard. I think I'll rather see Hitman fail. again.
Hell no, hell
Yeah.
no. I would rather see Resident Evil than that.
Maybe the first one, but that's tied to
Yeah,
me.
when they changed the Hitman, I could kind of give a fuck about it.
But the thing is that you have so many things. Okay, so let's go down like the list, right? We have like Warcraft, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat, Super Mario, Street Fighter, Silent Hill, Max Payne,
Oh, Max
Ram-
Payne. Max Payne, I actually really liked it.
Rampage.
Rampage of the Rock. Fuck
Get
that.
the fuck out of here with the Rock.
I'm just naming the movies, bro. Don't hate on me.
Did anybody see Need for Speed?
I did.
I saw it.
It wasn't
How was
great.
that? That was a good-
Nah.
No, it was a big hit. A big miss. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a yes. You have Doom.
Oh, the Rock.
Oh, that
right?
one was supposed to be
That's-
pretty decent.
Nice. That one. That was stupid.
Yeah, it was not. I mean, if you ever played a Doom game,
It's not that.
Yeah.
it's not that at all.
And Rock failed.
Yeah.
The best scene was that scene where like you're going first person.
In first person, yeah.
Yeah, that was the best thing in the movie. You have like the other ones that have like Detective Pikachu.
Well, are you only gonna say movies?
I mean, we're talking movies that were made from video games, right?
Well, what about fucking The Witcher?
Oh, it's a show.
They say that one's
That's
super
No,
a
that
badass.
one's
show.
pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
But
I don't
do
want
you
to
not count it? Because
But,
I mean,
yeah.
it's based on video games.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
but the thing
wouldn't.
is, because if it's a show, you have more time to explain.
Correct.
Well, you
And
couldn't fit
explore.
all of The Witcher into one movie. I don't think.
Not like that's what's the problem with these video games movies that they try to,
Cram
That's-
everything in at once.
yeah, or even that they try to go away from it and just sprinkle a little bit of it, and they fucking fail.
Yeah.
Like you have shit like let's see, for example, I'm looking at the list. Prince of Persia,
Oh, that one sucked. I saw it.
Alone in the Dark. Aren't you one of you guys fans of Alone in the Dark?
No, not me.
Uh,
Hey, wait. You know which one it is? You know, I think it's pretty good. Scott Pilgrim.
That was a comic, wasn't it?
Was it a comic?
I think
But
so.
it became a video game.
Yeah, it's a
Then
video
it-
game now.
But it was a video game before it became the movie.
Okay, that fucking movie's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a fucking great movie, but I think it was a comic first.
Yeah, but it became video game, then became the movie.
But it's still a comic first.
Yeah, I think it's a comic first.
Huh.
I mean, you have other stuff like what the fuck else do we have? I'm looking at the list. Dead or Alive? What the fuck? There was a Dead or Alive movie.
What the fuck? They're playing volleyball.
Far Cry.
There's a
Far
movie.
Cry?
I had no idea Far Cry was a movie.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Tekken was a movie. God damn. Like that's the thing. Is like there's the standard is so low that you don't need to go all out.
No, we're not saying you need to go all out, but just give us a solid movie.
But whenever you say solid, you have to compare to something else, right?
Yeah, something above Resident Evil.
I mean, something about Resident Evil, right? Because Resident Evil, I think Resident Evil is a standard. Not necessarily that it's a good standard, but that's the standard.
It's better than the rest so far.
Yes.
It's still better than the rest. Like I will see Resident Evil over Super Mario over Street Fighter.
Fuck no, dude. Fuck no.
I'd rather see Street Fighter.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Super Mario. Hell yeah.
What the?
I'd rather see Tomb Raider, the first one, than Resident Evil.
Was
With Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
yeah. I'd rather see still Resident Evil and that. I'll see Resident Evil over Rampage for sure over Need for Speed.
Rampage.
We had House of the Dead as well.
Oh, that was a
Constantly.
fucking hot mess. Yeah.
That's another. So that's the thing. It's like the super. I mean, video game movies don't have a heist. I actually like Sonic the Hedgehog. It wasn't that bad.
I haven't seen it.
I thought it was fun to watch. Oh, but maybe you should watch it and tell me what the fuck you think about
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. I want to watch it. I wanted to watch it when they fucked Sonic up.
Oh my god, dude, that was that was a crime against Sonic, man. I'm glad like the whatever studios gave in to the internet bullying that is cancel culture, because dude, that thing was horrible, dude. Before.
Speaking of that, you know what? That's a good transition into Karen Stings.
I do not know who you think you are, but you need to get the manager right now.
I don't- oh yeah, well you haven't been here for a few weeks. It's a segment, or I mean that was the intro for the segment that I titled Karen Stings, and it's just about fucking Karens wilding out or just super PC or woke bullshit.
Oh, I'm gonna love this.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this or care, but you guys know what Mr. Potato Head is, right?
Of course,
Yes.
we all seen Toy Story.
Okay, so I guess whoever owns the rights to that or whatever felt it necessary to drop the Mr. from Mr. Potato Head because they want Potato Head to be gender neutral.
Fucking Hasbro, man. That's fucking stupid, man. I think Hasbro's just
Or do you get to choose, or are they just gonna give away like no more mustache or the lips and the tie or whatever?
I think you're still gonna get all the bullshit accessories that came with a Mr. Potato Head, but they're gonna take it out of the name.
so what the fuck are they gonna do? They're gonna put a hole on the bottom of fucking the potato head. Oh, choose your gender. Put a penis or put a vagina. Like what the fuck, dude? Like, okay, so with us that we have experience with toys, right?
Only sex toys.
Not those.
Have experienced with you with your toy puppy.
Ooh, okay, so think of it as you're a retailer, right? And you get potato head, right? But your daughter for some reason wants a Mrs. Potato Head, which is no longer gonna be a thing, right? Like, are we gonna get like boxes usually come with like 4 potato heads? Are they gonna come with like 2 and 2, or is it gonna be mixed, or is it gonna be like? Does that make sense?
No, I don't know what you're fucking trying to say.
Okay,
Say that you're no longer gonna be a Mr. Miss. It's just gonna be bland or.
I think.
yeah. Okay. So, Desi, you and I met in the warehouse environment. Okay. Whenever we had toys separated by a serial number, right? So if it's now a gender neutral, right? But I'm looking for the feminine looking potato head, right? Am I gonna get the masculine looking with the feminine looking? Like, so let's say for example the DPC code is in 001. Is the 001 gonna be both the feminine and male looking one, or is it just gonna be the gender neutral one, and the DPC one is gonna have a different one looking, right?
A different
Does that
skew.
make-
Yeah.
Yeah, does that make sense now?
Well, I don't know what the fuck kind of Mr. Potato Head that you've played with, but for me, the potato heads were always just a potato, and the only thing that made them different was the shit that you put on it. So, like, for Mr. Potato Head, you would put the mustache, or like fucking a cap or some shit that a dude would wear, you know?
Yeah, had I had a tie thing.
Yeah, and like for the
That
missus,
mustache.
it's literally the same potato, but you could put a skirt on her and high heels or earrings.
I think had
Okay.
lips, like
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so-
yeah.
lipstick with lips, whatever.
So then the attachments are gonna come gendered.
I think they're just gonna come all in
Specified?
one unlabeled box.
They're all gonna come on one.
Yeah,
Everything.
So we're gonna have like now like I'm gonna give you both Mrs. and Mister
yeah, yeah, yeah,
on the same one. We're not gonna have like additional attachments.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I don't
That's
know
stupid.
because from what I read, they're only taking away the Mister Potato Head. They didn't
But they're
mention
leaving-
anything about the Mrs. So Mrs. Potato Head could still be a thing, but Mister because male what is it? What is it called when they say like you're a man, you wouldn't understand. Male fuck.
Male privilege.
Privilege, there we go. I don't know, man. Like for the kids that are playing with it, do you think they give a fuck?
No,
Uh,
unless their parents are really pushing for that.
Yeah, yeah. You give a kid some rocks and a stick, they're gonna find something to do with it. So I mean, I don't think they're gonna be fucking phased whether they're playing with a boy or a girl. I mean, they're
Look,
fucking kids.
Look, Hasbro. I get. So this is an ongoing thing with Hasbro, and every company that Hasbro owns. The only reason why I'm huge on this one is because of Magic, right?
Yeah.
Magic is actually owned by Hasbro. So Magic the Gathering, a few months back, we talked about in one of the podcasts how they were banning racist cards,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But this was as a result of the players kind of calling them out, how they were not being diverse enough on their hiring practices, on the representation,
The fuck
etc.
outta here.
So no, honestly, like a lot of that shit happened because there was a huge outcry by the community, and I think that at that point, it was Wizards of the Coast, which is again a branch of Hasbro. They they were just reacting to all that shit. So I think a lot of this is gonna be like, unless they were being called out and I wasn't about it, they're like before we get called out, we're gonna do this,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I can kind of understand as a company, right? Hey, let's fix shit before some kind of random Karen on the internet start calling us out, and then we're trying to be reactive. But I think some people are seeing it as though like nobody called you out. Why are you
Yeah.
trying to? I think being proactive right now at this point is coming out as,
Like you're pandering.
yeah, you are. So, but it's a weird place we're on right now in 2021. I think 2021 hasn't had too much of a cancel culture right now, which is good. It's fucked up, right? Because 2019 and 2020 was all about let's see who can we cancel. And 2021 has a different energy where like we're not giving a shit about shit like that right now because we have better concerns or worse concerns, pandemic being one of them. And all of this shit happening in this time, it just seems weird. Maybe we are being boomers and just overreacting too, right?
Okay, so it's funny that you bring that cancel culture isn't really up and running this year because I was reading that you guys know the actor that plays Superman, right? In the latest Superman movies?
Cavill?
Yeah, Cavill, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to get him canceled because people found out he dated Gina Carano like
Yeah.
8 or 9 years ago.
I thought they were still dating, but I guess not.
So like they're giving him shit because like he wasn't forthright with that information, or I don't know. Like they're trying to get him to not be Superman anymore.
He's not gonna be Superman because he says he's not doesn't want to come out in the Shazam too.
Okay. He's
So
probably
they
too
can't-
busy with The Witcher anyway. So
Yeah, but even that, I don't know if you guys heard about the latest on Silence of the Lambs.
oh, there's a TV show.
Yeah, but this is not the TV show. This is the movie one. This is about the movie in the 90s
Okay.
that that they didn't depict transgenders fairly because of Buffalo Bill. That I guess they make it seem that transgenders or transsexual, whatever, that they're like serial killers and stuff like that. That
The fuck.
it's not fair for them to be doing that to.
My
to try-
fucking god.
Yeah, that they really want to like. I don't know if they want to change it or whatever. I think not gonna do it. I doubt it, but people made a big deal out of Buffalo Bill. That guy comes out like for 15 minutes in the
Yeah.
fucking film, but I guess the whole them talking about it. I guess somebody saw it recently and they're like,
What the
No.
fuck? Yeah.
Let me
no,
get triggered.
Yes, pretty much.
They saw it and they were like,
I do not know who you think you are, but you need to get the manager right now.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I
We'll
guess
see.
probably because of the show came out, they probably saw that one and they're like, no, we can't have this transgender serial killers. No.
Yeah.
I think none of us thought of that seeing Buffalo Bill as shit, transgenders or serial killers.
Yeah, I never connected that either. I just thought this fucking weirdo liked wearing human skin because he's fucked in the head, not because he's confused
He's
about his
transgender.
sexuality. Like, what the fuck? How
Dude,
do you
that-
how do you connect that? Maybe you're the fucked up one for seeing that because I never saw that.
Yeah, I didn't think of any of that. Me too. I was just like, this guy's fucked up.
I think cancel culture is. Well, I fucking saw a comedian recently say this. It's like cancel culture and any of this PC culture is white culture trying to see how can I make someone else's problem or misgendering or miscommunication or whatever the fuck misclassification about me, right? So they're like, I'm gonna defend them. I am gonna do this because I am the problem, or and I'm like, it all falls back into and it goes back into like the whole thing about what the fuck did I tell you guys? The whole thing with Latinos, like we don't give a shit.
Oh, the Latinx shit.
Yeah, the Latinx, like a lot of us, especially like those of us that are a little bit older, we don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like about any of that, like. And then again, it goes back into like cultural references where like we use the word negro, we use the word moreno, right, which just stands for dark skinned, and we never use it as an insult. The last one that I heard was calling somebody gringo, but those are the white people saying that gringo is a racial slur.
Yeah, it's like saying cracker.
And if you are a lot of the people that, especially like if you're around people that are like full on Latinos, right? Like we're from the motherland and everything. They use gringo more of as a you're a foreigner. That's all it means.
Yeah, like you don't speak us or whatever.
Yeah, you don't speak like the Spanish that we speak, right?
Yeah,
You don't. And like dude, it's at this point where like people are just looking for a place where they want their fucking attention.
Yeah, it's a fucking victim mentality. Like this doesn't offend me personally, but it's offensive to someone. I'm positive, so I'm gonna make awareness. Fuck, like taking on somebody else's cross to bear. You know, like, get the fuck out of here. That's like the most selfish way to view the world. Like, no one's speaking up, so I'm gonna do it. Well, like, the people that are being marginalized, if they're not speaking up, why the fuck are you? You're not in that category or that group of people. Get the fuck out of here. Like, some people don't know when to not put their nose in other people's shit, you know? That really sucks. And I blame social media for that, because now everyone has a voice that's loud enough for thousands or millions of people to see. All of a sudden, I matter.
It's one of the stupidest things, man. Like I just feel like I want attention and please support me.
Yeah.
Even though it has nothing to do with me, but I'm doing it for the cause. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, and I don't know, man. Every time I see something like that, I'm like, how the fuck do I communicate with you?
Yeah.
But I don't even want to, especially in social media, right? Like, everybody's gonna be like, I'm doing the right thing by standing up for this. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, I think the last time I had an argument with somebody, they're like, how the fuck do you know that? I'm like, because I'm from that culture, pendejo. Like you're gonna tell me how I feel? Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel victimized, bitch.
You're-
Well, it's because probably you have Stockholm syndrome. Get the fuck out of here. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no. It's stupid, man.
Stockholm syndrome.
Fucking Karens.
Yeah, that sucks.
But outside of that, dude, Hasbro had a lot of announcements. Um, for example, like from the Magic World, we're getting Lord of the Rings stuff, and we're getting Warhammer. If you know what that is.
Yeah, yeah.
So like in the next couple of years, they actually like announced in the next 2 years we're getting a Lord of the Rings Magic cards, Warhammer Magic cards, which obviously crossovering intellectual properties had a bunch of our stupid people gatekeeping. So they were like, "Hey, we're gonna quit the game because this is no longer Magic," and that's when I sent you guys that the message, and you guys were making fun of it. So, what do you think about gatekeeping, though?
I get it. I used to do it. But honestly, that's just some childish shit. The older you get, the less you give a fuck about, and that's one of those things that's a young man's game, you know? Because when you're older, you're more concerned about like, oh, I don't have very much time. I want to get a quick one in, you know, like whether it be like a quick Magic game or a quick game of COD or whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. It's sometimes you feel something is yours and you want to protect it, but like, let go, man. You can't control everything in the universe.
Do you think we see that a lot, like on not necessarily just on like geek culture, but like do we see it also like in sports or anything? Like for example, me, right? Like that I've been a Patriots fan only for a couple of years. At most, I've been, I believe, 7 years. But that was the first year I was getting into football to begin with. So when somebody asked me,
Who's your
like,
team?
well, yeah, like, oh, I'm following the Patriots now, and they're like, oh, is it because they're
Of-
winning? I
of-
had no fucking idea they had been winning at that
Of course
time.
you are fucking. You're preaching to the choir, brother.
But yeah, same thing, right? It's like if you have somebody that's starting to watch football and they're like, oh, I'm a 49ers fan, right? And I'm preaching to Poppy right now, right? Like, obviously, I know Poppy's not going to be like, are you a fan, man? Like, oh, yeah, do you know about Montana? Like, I don't expect him to be like that.
Who's that?
I know, right? So, who is Montana, Poppy?
The Montana Mikes? The restaurant?
Oh, shit, Poppy's all quiet now.
Did we lose Poppy?
I think we did.
Poppy?
Oh, he muted himself. Never
Oh,
mind.
no shit. You know what? We're going to go ahead and get another word from another sponsor. We'll be right back. Rich and Rare. Before we get a word from that sponsor, I just want to do a quick shout out to my boy, Josh in Japan. I miss you. And now a word from our sponsor.
Now, I know there are many chilies out there on the market, but ain't no one gonna tell you this chili ain't like a punch in the mouth. Texas style, Texas made. Sloppy Seth's Texas chili.
And we're back. And shout out to Sloppy Seth's Texas Chili.
I love that chili. Nah, but the gatekeeping, I think if it goes too far, if it gets away from the game, I think that's where you have to stop. Like how they make fun of it, you know, what the sicko mode and whatnot. If it goes to that length, changing the game, then what's the point of playing the game? That's how I see it. Like,
And I would agree with you on that one. There's only one thing, right? Like, for example, I've been around the game for 16, 17 years, whatever, right? And because the game itself can translate almost any character into a card game, right? This is what the character would sound like or be like in the game. Uh, I mean, as when we were starting the game off, when I was starting the game off with my group of friends, back in the kitchen table, back in high school, sitting down in the halls and playing against each other, we would think about it like, hey, you know what? Like, this is my favorite character. This is what I would think the character would look like on a card. And this is something that not just me. If you go into like Reddit and you type in, fan made cards, you see so many variations out there. You see like all of Star Wars. You see all of, any kind of pop culture, Harry Potter, a bunch of stuff out there, right? But now that the company is doing it, now we're actually getting all defensive about it, and I think that's where I think we're just being hypocrites. Like the community right now, I think that anybody that says that uh, they shouldn't, they want to keep the game pure, it should be all about the characters, about the game itself. They're just fucking being hypocrites. Like if at any point you thought, what would my favorite character look like as a card, right? And I think we see it even with games, right? Like Mortal Kombat. Um, don't we see like Jason? Don't we see Xenomorphs, Spawn? And it's nice to see those IPs in our games. It's sometimes it doesn't always. It's not always a hitter, right? It's not always a home run, but it's fun to see them.
but
Maybe
I,
that's just me.
I don't know. I think when you stray away from the original content is of the game, I think yeah, because it's just gonna morph to yeah. There's nothing wrong with little change. I get like I understand the Lords of the Rings. That makes sense because of what the game is.
Yeah, it's like super similar.
Yeah, but the starting Star Wars, like what a dragon with a lightsaber. I don't know. It just
Doesn't work.
But
doesn't
see
work
that
for me.
that's the
Like
thing. We've had, and I understand that this is maybe not your forte, but we've had
yeah,
steampunk settings. We've had ships. So for example, ships is not an alien. Um, it's not something outside of what we're
yeah.
used
Like
to.
I understand the steampunk too. That kind of still blends in, but when you're going too far, I'm like at this point, and then just make the same game, but
Just
just
make the gathering.
yeah. I don't know. It won't be. It's not the same. To me, that's how I see it. But like you're the one who plays the game more than me, because I played it. I
Mhm.
understand it, but of course I'm not a huge fan of it. I understand, but like, to me, that's how I see it. If you start adding Star Wars, I don't know. Then you had Ghostbusters, and you had. I'm like, then it's not the same game.
No, no, and I can get that, but I mean, and that's why I'm not necessarily trying to use just the game that I play, but like that's why I kind of brought up Mortal Kombat, right? Like when we saw Darth Vader, when we saw Yoda in Soul Calibur,
But that
like,
makes sense because they wield a sword and whatnot. Like if it's not too far, it's just a little stretch. Like okay, I could see it.
Mhm.
Like that's why I could see Jason there in Mortal Kombat because what it is, they're killers and
They're
they're
fighting and
just
shit,
they're
yeah.
fighting. Yeah, like makes sense. It's not like if you put Pokemon in Mortal Kombat, like dude, really, really, yeah, you're reaching to get a bigger fan base, or you're desperate because your game is not being so popular.
and that's why I think that it's gonna become a lot of stuff's gonna become subjective, right? But
Because you could, like you say, some hit, some failed. Like when they did the whole Street Fighter versus Tekken, like that wasn't hit, but people wanted to see it, kind of. But it's the same. Both are fighting games, but both are two different fighting games.
you see a lot of stuff like that in a lot of other games. So, for example, one of the other games that I've seen, have you guys ever heard of HeroClix?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so HeroClix, all it is pretty much it's a tabletop game with minis. So you have HeroClix, as it sounds. Heroes is the biggest thing. So every set is once DC, once Marvel, once DC, once Marvel. So whatever comic thing has been going on in the last couple of years, what they'll do is they'll turn those figures or those characters into kind of like uh, chess pieces, and then each chess piece has its abilities and whatnot. Right? That's the simplification of it. They actually about a few years back they did a Gears of War clicks thing, right? So you can actually have like the Hulk going up against like Marcus Phoenix. 2 years later or a year later, they did Street Fighter. So you can actually have like Superman going up against Chun Li. Uh, I think a year later they did Yu-Gi-Oh. So you can have like the Blue Eyes going up against Batman. See, and shit like that, I can kind of understand crossover IPs, but the thing about Magic is that yes, we have our own characters, but within Magic itself, you have like the planes, the multiple planes universe. So you can technically say, I'm going into this plane. We have a dinosaur plane, where like it was all about dinosaurs, and the next set we had everything about werewolves, and then the one after that it was a steampunk, and then the one after that was all about fairy tales. So even in itself, you're saying like, oh, dinosaurs versus fairies, dinosaurs versus cars, dinosaurs versus a boat. So and that's actually part of us not even using other IPs. That was the actual IP of Magic. We're in a plane where everything is about. It's this huge science fair. That's actually what it was. Everybody's inventing stuff, and we have a judge saying your invention is good or not. And then the set after that, it was like, hey, we're going into dinosaurs that look like Mexicans, which actually was a thing. No, I'm not fucking around. Like the thing was like a semi-Aztec thing with dinosaurs. So the dinosaurs have like this feather-looking shit, and then you have this other people that have this kind of like Aztec-looking wear. With vampires, and at the same time, fish people. And on top of that, we had what was the last theme that we had? Oh, pirates at the same time.
Pirates and vampires
Pirates, vampires, dinosaurs, and like Aztec-looking
and
shit.
Mexicans.
Oh, I mean that's what I meant by Mexican, right? Like the whole Aztec culture kind of thing. So when we have IPs like that, and then you're telling me all of a sudden we're trying to get all fucking purists about.
Yeah.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see Warhammer. I don't want to see Lord of the Rings. Like, really?
Yeah, well, I don't mind Lord of the Rings and Warhammer because, like I said, that still seems the same world, just
They did the
different
Walking
reality.
Dead. They did the Walking Dead.
But it makes
Zombies,
sense.
right?
The game has zombies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It actually is a huge fucking thing in the game is zombies. So that's why. But I think again, gatekeeping not necessarily just on us, but you see it like in comic books. You see it like like Marvel, right? Marvel movies have been big the last decade. When somebody tells you, "Oh, I'm a huge fan," oh, really? What do you know about comic? Amazing Spider-Man #1. What do you think about it? Like, I don't know what the fuck that is, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it.
So you're okay if people are saying I'm a Marvel fan, but just the movies, not the actual comics?
I mean, it means.
Or people just say, "Oh, I love the art, but I just love Batman." I have no idea of Batman what it is, but I just love what Batman stands for, or just Batman. So they have no idea of anything of Batman though, besides what the story everybody knows, but they had never read the comics or nothing.
I
You
think
okay?
it's.
You okay with that? Like, just I'm a Batman fan, but I don't read comics.
Like
I just see the
casual
movies,
fan.
and that's it. It's not even casual. Do you think that's casual?
Yeah, that's the whole. That is.
That's the
like,
ca- that now.
the definition of a casual.
Unfortunately, that is the definition of a casual now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? The thing about gatekeeping is, can you adapt to what the definition of a casual now is nowadays, right? Back in the day, if you said I'm a comic book fan, like, oh, but I just casually read. Like, oh, okay, how much do you read? or I only read the main series. You're still reading, right? Because there was no other reference that you could. Versus now, it's like, I'm a Batman fan, but I only watch the movies.
Yeah.
Okay, that's different, right? Because the availability of content is different. A casual of comic books back in the day versus a casual nowadays is different because the definition has changed on the availability of product.
But what if they say they've seen the movie like twice, but yet that's it? Like,
Then I would pretty much have to, like, I think nowadays you have to always dig deeper because, like, oh, you're a fan of Batman. What do you like about it? Oh, I like that it's Kristen Bale. Okay, what else do you like? Well, I just like him as that. I get the fuck out, right?
Just
yeah,
that.
that's why.
Just
That's
that.
why I've met people that have seen the movie like twice or whatever. They're like, yeah, I love Batman, but just that's it. Like, literally, I've met people like, really? You got a tattoo of it? Holy shit! Wow, I guess you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna come down to how easily impersonable, what's it called? Impersonable people are nowadays, right?
Yeah.
So, fuck, wait, like how much shit don't we see nowadays with people? Like, look at the Browns fans, right? You know, preseason champs, defeated 3-0, right? And then people get tattoos of shit like that.
But yeah, but if you're a Browns fan, I get it. It's it's a joke. It's a joke to themselves too, but I get that.
I mean, don't we see that with girlfriends too? 1 month dating and they get a tattoo of the girl.
Yeah.
So I think that has nothing to do necessarily with just one particular
Yeah.
topic.
yes.
It has to do with people.
But yeah, it's a surprise. People are like, yeah, I love Batman. Well, okay, just try to have a conversation. Nah, I don't know anything of it. I just seen the movie. And you talk about the movie. You go deep dive in the movie. I don't know that, man. I've seen that twice.
Chingama.
I'm like, well, okay, I guess. No, because I have met people like that. I'm like, wow. Well, I'm not saying, fuck you, don't love Batman, but I'm just like, wow. How do you say that then? Like, you're a fan of Batman, but
You're not.
you're really not, but
Well,
I don't want to be a gatekeeper, but I'm like, really? You're not a fan of Batman? Whatever, dude. I guess you're too old now. Well, I'm too old, too.
Yeah, that's the way that's the creator put it, right? Maybe you're just too old to like.
Yeah.
To give a fuck anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
you're a fucking peasant. You don't know what the fuck Batman is. Versus like being a gatekeeper, you're trying to enforce it and tell them, you're shit because you've only seen it twice.
Yeah, like I will say, I was a huge Wolverine fan, but not anymore. I can't remember. Like, I have a bunch of his comics. I would read his comics. I saw his shitty movies. Like I watched it like 2 or 3 times, but they're too shitty to even watch them more than that. But I still say Logan's probably one of the best comic books. I think that's the only good Wolverine movie there is.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
but even that's probably one of the best comic book movies there've been, I think. But I don't know how people could just say they're a fan and just see the movie twice and they're like, yeah, I just love Batman. That's it. Like, okay, I don't know. It kind of does rub me the wrong way, but I'm like, fuck this guy. And then, all right, I guess.
Yeah, that's an interesting take, and I kind of get it. But I think like, you're not gatekeeping if you leave it like that. Like, no, I can't have a conversation with this guy. This guy's just whatever.
Yeah.
I think the gatekeeping begins when you're like,
No,
you start calling them out.
Yeah, guess so.
Like I had this guy, the same thing, like with games or whatever. Like, yeah, man, I fucking love this, and I'm like, oh yeah, what have you read? And they're like, no, well, I've done like the bare minimum. I've only watched like the series once, like just once. I'm like, how long you been a fan? Oh, a couple of years. Get the fuck out.
Like it
Like,
does rob you. It robs you the wrong way. Like you're like, oh, no, they're not. You want to say it, but you're like, fuck this.
Like-
I'm just
like
leaving.
Yeah.
Perfect example right now. Right now, I'm reading like I just bought The Last Ronin. So this is any of you guys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've seen the cartoons.
So the last okay, so okay, Papi has seen the cartoons. Desi says he's a fan. The Last Ronin is 3 of the turtles have been killed. The Last Ronin is the last one remaining.
Who is it?
Don't worry about it. No, it's Michelangelo. So, but the fucking comic is dark, right? Like
Yeah,
this guy
yeah.
begins like it's. I just bought it last week. I'm still halfway through it, but I'm reading through this and I'm like, this is not Michelangelo, dude. Like this
It's
would
the.
feel.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
This would feel like this feels like Raphael, right? And the first weapon they show you he's wielding, it's Raphael's
The Sai.
the size, right? So you're like, no, it must be Raphael, but then obviously as you keep reading, you're gonna find out that it's actually Michelangelo. So, like, if I was to say that I'm a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I will be lying because this is the first comic that I read from them. All I've ever watched was the movies, and
Hell.
I played the video games
Oh, that's
and
true.
Hell
and
yeah.
the cartoons. Like when I was growing up, Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, I still remember Splinter,
For sure. For sure.
Shredder, what's it called? Butthead and what's his name?
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Rocksteady.
Yeah,
Casey Jones.
Casey
Yeah,
Jones
so-
is a motherfucker.
those are the ones that I remember, and obviously the movies were fucking amazing for me, right? Like, and I'm talking about
The original
the
one?
90s, the 90s. the
Yeah,
90s
they
ones.
were
Go
pretty-
Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Yeah, like we're talking. Like those were fucking amazing movies. The last ones that came out, the best thing that I saw of them was Splinter versus Shredder.
Shredder. Yeah.
That fucking fight scene was fucking amazing.
I never saw the new ones. Fuck that.
Just watch Shredder versus Splinter. It's a good fight scene.
Yeah, well, fucking the Ninja Turtles started off as a really dark comic, and like the original artists were like trying to sell it to a bigger comic company, and nobody wanted to pick it up because they're like, we don't get it. So like they compromised and made them teenage and young, and so like the original Turtles are probably more like the Last Ronin than they are the Ninja Turtles that me and Poppy remember, you know?
Mhm.
So like the Ninja Turtles were fabricated to sell toys, essentially.
Yeah.
And
Come on.
fuck, dude, did I want that van that shot pizzas? It was too expensive,
Yeah.
dude. Fuck.
Dude, that was the fucking golden toy, man. If you ever saw, you're like, this is this shit.
Yeah, they don't make toys like that anymore, man. Fuck.
And it's funny because isn't like a lot of the stuff nowadays meant to sell toys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that why they canceled, or isn't that why the Ewoks were made to finally sell something to
Some
kids from
fucking
Star Wars?
dolls, yeah. But fucking speaking of that, do you guys buy figures or toys anymore? Like,
I do.
No.
I mean, I have a kid that's into shit now, and dude, McFarlane Toys is like,
Oh yeah, I did it for years.
I know they've always been like the most detailed before like you get into that custom fucking toy making like echelon, because that's a thing. There are companies that make like a run of like 150 hyper detailed action figures and shit that cost hundreds of dollars, but
Oh,
like
shit.
for a production toy, dude, McFarlane, they're miles away from everyone else.
Yeah, when we still have our little Comic Cons here where we live, man, we still go and me and Banano would look at the toys. Like, man, look at these shit. If we had money, I would buy it.
Yeah, fucking go ahead.
One of the toys that I still put up until this day I dream of owning, Gunslinger Spawn by McFarlane, dude.
I might
Have
have
you-
I might have one.
Get the fuck out.
A friend of mine, a friend of the show, Mal Bolja, he was
Hence the
super
name.
yeah, hence the name. He was super into collecting Spawn figures. And he has like original run Spawn figures, not reproductions. And the thing that he was into, if I remember, was like getting like the variants
Yeah.
or like the ones that had mistakes in them. So
Fuck that, dude. Those things are expensive.
well, I mean, when he bought them, they weren't, right? And the whole thing with him, it was he was gonna hold on to them, so they went up in value.
Like a gunslinger spawn right now, out of box, starts probably at 100. If you're talking still in box, probably $400 or $500.
Oh shit!
And again, that's pretty much like as it sounds, right? Gunslinger is that Western feel kind of spawn.
Yeah,
Dude, that thing is fucking like I remember as a kid, that would be the toy to own, right?
Yeah,
Like even though you were just gonna have it there. I think I just found one on eBay for like 200.
I never
Fuck.
understood it. Like they look nice. Like I don't mind to have it there, but I don't about collecting them.
yeah. Well,
I used to collect cards and comics, but I don't know what to deal with the toys.
Well, I mean the toys is just figures, right? So instead of having like a lamp, you have like a fucking figure there, right? Instead of having like a vase or flowers, you have a figure, right?
Yeah, but I figured people want to touch and grab. You're like, no.
That's why you tell people not to get the fuck away, right? Like so.
But not only that, most don't put it away.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have, I'm like,
Oh, no. On storage, yeah, I don't get the storage part. That I will tell you. But like if you have them on display, like some of the things that I've been seeing a lot, right? Shelves, and you have figures there, and people will just look at them, right?
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. Instead of having books, you have figures. What was the other one that was fucking amazing? The one that was like, what the fuck was it called? Kind of like a soldier. Forgot the actual name of it. The Spawn, same thing. Beautiful figures. I think the closest thing that you have nowadays, again, pop culture, pop figures, man.
yeah.
that's true.
Like I just bought one 2 weeks ago. On
Oh.
top of the ones that I have. An anime that I watch. Endeavor. It's pretty much like a fire dude. But outside of that, I have Sonic. Not just Sonic. I have Super Sonic. A couple of Magic the Gathering. I have Supernatural. And Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that too, the pops, because homeboy also collects pops.
I mean,
he's sold a couple of them too, and he's like, man, when I bought them, fucking like he intentionally buys them to resell them eventually, you know.
Mhm.
And he was like, dude, like I sold like some of my cheaper ones for like 3 times what I paid for them. He's like, I sold 2 and I made like fucking $300. I'm like, what the fuck for your little dollies?
yeah, dude. I have So
I give
I
him-
bought a.
I give him shit for the pops. Action figures I get, but those stupid fucking pops I don't get.
Yeah, I remember I would go to the bookstore, and man, they would have the pops all over the floor because they were looking for, I don't know what the fuck, whatever, the special one they wanted.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I didn't know that. I didn't tell them anything. I'll go fucking start kicking them around. and shit.
Motherfucker, you better pick that shit up. Yeah.
They're in a fucking way, man. Like, jeez.
Like the one that I want, the Hulkbuster. The Hulkbuster, the last one that I saw was like $60.
The pop or
The
just-
pop. But this is before it became popular. So like before Age of Ultron, there was a Hulkbuster armor, and that thing was fucking expensive. And then eventually after Age of Ultron, obviously they decided making a bunch of them, and they're super cheap nowadays. But before that, a Hulkbuster was about $60 to find one. After mass production, you're like, if you didn't give a shit about which Hulkbuster it is,
Yeah.
it's super cheap.
McFarlane toys. It's crazy, man.
No shit.
Does the Spawn still continue the comics?
I think so. I think they like just reached their like 500th issue a couple years ago or some shit like that.
I think someone else picked up the rights, or I said IDW. Who the fuck owns the rights?
I
It's-
think McFarlane still owns everything Spawn.
No, I think somebody else picked up the Spawn comics.
You mean
'Cause I
to
was-
publish it? No, no, they don't own it.
Yeah, to publish, I think it's IDW or Dark Horse Comics that owns it now. To publish.
Well,
The
no,
comics.
Spawn, the publisher for Spawn is Image Comics,
Yeah, I remember that was the original.
and Image Comics is Todd
Just-
McFarlane.
Okay. Nice, and then they kept it going. They have some badass crossovers though. Like Spawn actually had like the Spawn versus Batman.
So
That was,
Spawn won, right?
I think Spawn. I think Spawn is fucking awesome.
I think Spawn. They both fought, but the fight got stopped. They were both getting attacked. Batman got his ass kicked by whoever was getting attacked. Spawn had to go into Batman's mind to try and save him. And I think Spawn got freaked out from how fucked up Bruce Wayne is in the head. So I was just like that's how they gave him. That's how they gave Bruce Wayne like an up on Spawn. Is like, how the fuck is that a guy that's been to hell got freaked out from a guy's mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just that's the last that I remember. The only comic that I own with Spawn, never mind. That's the Predator one. It's Predator versus Batman.
I still have the anime Spawn, the whole
Oh,
set.
The HBO
Regular-
series.
Yeah, they show on DVD.
Nice.
The HBO one.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah, man.
Do you remember? It didn't get super big, but it was fucking crazy. The Max.
I know what you're talking
There's-
about, the big guy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
big purple dude. That one was a crazy show too.
The Max.
Yeah, it's the Max. He's
MAXX.
yeah, MAXX.
The fuck.
That one was pretty crazy too. I really like that one. I think I have that one on DVD.
I have to fucking look for it eventually.
I guess they're not gonna make the movie with Spawn after all.
No, they hit a road. They hit a bump in the road or some bullshit.
And
Nah,
it's-
if they didn't make it, they hit a fucking wall. Wait.
maybe it's good. Maybe they'll recast and actually put better people.
I still say they should get the original Al Simmons, Jamal White.
Fuck yeah,
Who were they trying to get for?
Jamie
for-
Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny. I was seeing a video about Michael J. White earlier with Joe Rogan. This guy was with Joe Rogan, and he was saying in the story how he was talking about. He was telling Michael J. White about Joe Rogan's kicks. You know, like how great his kicks
Oh,
are,
how badass he
powerful.
kicks,
yeah.
yeah.
And Michael J. White, I got a pretty good kick too. Look, bah, and he fucking drops the bag. It comes off the chain, and he was like, "Fuck, this guy's better than Joe Rogan." I look stupid.
Well, the thing about Joe Rogan is that he's got crazy techniques in jujitsu. I think it's jujitsu. I'm more than positive that's what it is. But yeah, he has a crazy spinning back kick that apparently do you guys follow MMA a lot?
Nah.
Well, do you
Not
guys
so
know?
much.
Do you guys know who George St. Pierre is?
Yes.
Well, he's considered one of the greatest fighters of all time, and he saw Joe Rogan doing his spinning back kick, and like he literally was like, "Hey Joe, I need you to teach me how to do this." And I think they spent like several hours in the gym of him showing him how to do it properly. That's crazy. Joe Rogan teaching professionals. Well, boys, we're already fucking at 2 hours, and it's already getting fucking late here. So, I think
Yeah, it is.
I
Oh
think
shit.
I think we're good to wrap here. I don't know if you guys have anything else to throw in real quick.
Nah, I'm good.
Garbage.
Nah, not really, man. I mean, it was kind of a uneventful week. Other than this weekend, I was getting Stimmy 3.0.
All right then. Well, fucking, I appreciate you guys coming. I appreciate you guys staying. Shout out to our sponsors again, and for all of you that have been here for a while, I appreciate it. As always, I'm your boy Desecrator. This was Hanging Heavy. Much love, and rich and rare.
This is Hanging Heavy.